A very pleasant morning, viewers, and thank God it's Friday. You're welcome to your favorite morning show, now streaming, brought to you from the stables of the Advent Cable Network Nigeria. If you're just joining us, this is the ACNNTV now streaming morning live show. Do you know education landscape has witnessed a rapid change due to the advent of digital technologies and has also experienced an exponential growth in educational data? Do you also know that educators who have embraced this have gained valuable insight into student learning patterns, preferences, and strengths, enabling them to tailor instructions to individual need? All these answers lies within the topic AI and education, enhancing learning experience in Nigerian school with AI powered tools. We will be discussing this on this segment of the show. I still remain Gordon Ujiri, your anchor, and still with me in the studio to do justice to this is Venerable Unoya JP, the Director of Civic and Political Affairs of the Church of Nigeria and the Chaplain to the National Assembly. And also we have Ms. Faith Aduko or John, an educational strategist and founder of I Create Education Consults. Ms. Faith, you're welcome.
Thank you very
Venerable,
much.
Still glad to have you on the show
Thank you.
morning. A whole lot of issues to deal with, and thank God for the likes of the Niger State government, who is doing already so much in that sector. So, Ms. Faith, I think I will be kickstarting this with you. We are looking at a very important topical issue, which is AI. So, just to ask this direct question for the benefit of our viewers, what is AI and what are those AI-powered tools that we would be looking at this morning?
Okay, so simply put, AI is an acronym for artificial intelligence, and in summary, it is the simulation of human intelligence. Focus on that, human intelligence into machines, so that these machines can now make decisions, they can think, they can learn. So basically, it's just stimulating a machine to do what a person can do, just to make work easier, work faster and better. So
All right. So we are trying to integrate this artificial intelligence used by human and also looking at how we can integrate them into the educational space for both the learners and the teachers there. Now my question is, what are those specific tools that we're looking at?
To be honest, the list is endless. If I start mentioning the list right now, we will not leave there here today. But I'm just going to come from the aspect of the goals. So we have these different AI tools doing different things. For example, you have AI tools doing adaptive learning, tailoring learning to the specific needs of these children. We have AI learning management tools where teachers can, have all their datas. We also have AI tools that helps in automated grading. We also have the bot that helps in creating assessments and also marking the assessment for tutors. We also have virtual tutors, right? I think that's really mind blowing. We also have virtual AI tutors. I have taken several courses where these courses were designed, the contents were designed, but we had a bot reading out the concept to me and interacting with me. So we have different AI tools in these different components. So you have tools like you have Google Education. We also have Microsoft AI tools. We also have tools like Grammarly. You have Canva. You have the list is actually endless. ChatGPT, the very popular one. So yeah. So
all right, thank you so much. Almost everyone makes use of the likes of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Variable, you have been in so many sectors for so long now, and I now want to ask, what are those pressing educational challenges that we are facing, especially in this part of the world?
Well, number one is funding.
Okay.
That is what the Niger State government has decided to do is very commendable. When there is fund, there's a lot that can be achieved. When there's no fund, like I normally say, my late father told me, said, money says if he's not at home, everyone should keep quiet until when he comes back home. So when money is available, you can do a lot. So that's one. Funding is one of the major challenge that we have in that sector, and of course, infrastructure. You have seen maybe some of the clips that were coming out from one of from my state, those states, at the eve of election. See, people were going around to schools, to video classroom, video support schools, where rain is falling, and the students have nowhere to hide their head. You see people lying down, prostrating on the floor to ride because there are no seats and all sorts of unthinkable things you see. See people gather around a mango tree and they call it a school. So we have a lot of deficit in the area of infrastructure, and that is a major challenge because in education, I think environment also stimulates learning, how you learn. Environment, yeah, the environment need to be conducive for people to be able to learn. Then on the other side, we also have deficit in the area of manpower. As at my last check, the Nigeria educational policy is working towards having maximum of 15 persons to a teacher, 15 pupils to a teacher. But I've also shared an experience here where I took my child to a school during when closing hour. If I want to take my boy back, I can be standing at the gate, at the door of the classroom, and both teacher and myself are looking for my baby among the crowd. For 5 minutes, you are asking, have you seen this boy Ephraim among them? So it's as bad as that. And how much can the teacher do under that circumstance? The teacher will be exhausted and he will not be able to pay due attention. He will not be able to identify the peculiar characteristic of a particular child, and all those things have a way of affecting education. So we still have a lot of challenges, and of course, let's not sweep under the carpet. We are just talking about AI technology now. What is the educational policy or like? What is the curriculum like? The curriculum I see in Nigeria is a curriculum that trains you for nothing. You just learn how to read and write and carry file about. So we need a dynamic curriculum that will be able to prepare somebody for life, a practical life after school. You remember there was a time they came up with the 6334 system of education. What was it about? If we have taken it through, maybe by now we'll be somewhere as a country. But it was abandoned as usual, typical of Nigeria politicians. That policy of education, for instance, was meant to give general education to people at the primary level. Then at the junior secondary level, they begin to now try to sieve the system to know where you fit in, whether it is in the area of science or in the area of art. And even in the area of whether in the area of science or in the area of art, they want to draw line between theory and practical. So all those machines that were sent to schools all over the country but were never installed until they were stolen, maybe possibly by the same people who knows the value and who imported them, took them away, so vandalized them. They were meant to train people so that by the time you are going to the senior secondary, you are either tolling the line where you'll be doing that theoretical aspect, or you are gradually gravitating to the practical aspect. By the time you are leaving secondary school, you already know where you are going, whether you are going to end up in the technical school or a polytechnic, or whether you are going to go to the regular university. So that kind of thing, I don't see it being pursued now. So that is one major area of concern and challenge that we have now, that we need to be focused. We need to know what exactly we want. For instance, look at the economy of the country is so battered. Then what are we going to use to address it? Talking about future, there's no employment. What is the Ministry of Education, our government, doing now to adjust the curriculum in such a way that we can fill this gap that is glaring? It's already there in future. So if you want to grow technologically, by now we should see a kind of educational curriculum that is gravitating towards that direction. So there's a whole lot of challenges.
All right, thank you so much. Ms. Faith, you will quite agree that Variable Year have done a whole lot of justice to this challenge.
Absolutely.
Now, as an educationist yourself, how does all of these challenges...
Why don't you people always call me an educationist? I told people I also read education.
All right, Variable, we have taken note, and I believe so.
Okay, I'm a pastor.
I believe so well that my director have taken note. Even from the introduction, you will quite agree that I said you cover a whole lot. A whole lot.
Thank you.
A whole lot. Let me just leave it at that. All right, Ms. Faith, let's just take it now to you. You had all the challenges enumerated by our Venerable Year. And now, how does these challenges affect the outcomes of learning within our various institutions and the various levels of academics activities?
It's very simple. Look at the quality of graduates that we have.
Okay.
I've been trying to employ a PA for the past 2 months, but I can't find any. Sometimes I can interview close to 300 people for one position, right? Because I'm a consultant as well, and I can't find a fit. So that's the number one. You're not, like you said, the curriculum. I'm just going to highlight on 2 major issues. Why? Because if we have standard curriculum and we have well-trained facilitators, education can happen anywhere. I can sit behind my screen and teach a child. That's where technology is taking place. I'm doing a lot of courses online that I don't need to see these people. I don't know where they are, from different part of the country. This can be done. Edo State, they've been doing it, and they've been doing a fantastic job, taking education to the homes of the children. However, the education we're talking about, what is the content? Our curriculum is outdated. What's the content of the curriculum? I was reviewing a curriculum the other day, and I saw a particular topic, and it was what's the value of sachet water? And I'm like, okay, so why are you teaching the child? Because right now, at the level we are right now, they'll come to a point in life that if not because of poverty, they will not be taking this kind of water. Because if you look at the chemical composition and the content of the water, it should be against it. Why is it in the curriculum?
Why is it in the
curriculum? The curriculum itself is outdated, and until that is addressed, the quality of graduates that will be coming out in the society will continue to be poor, and then people will not be employable. And then the poverty will continue. So it's just a round circle of we going back and back and back and back. I finished university over 15 years ago, and my younger sister is doing the same course that I did, and I'm looking at her course content. It's the same thing. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Ms. Faith, we left at when I'm asking you, all of the challenges are variable clearly listed out, how it has affected the student learning outcome.
Absolutely. So as I was sharing before we went off, is beyond affecting their learning outcome right now because they are not fully reaching the potentials. It's beyond that. It is more futuristic because they come out and they are not employable because they don't have the right skills, they don't have the right exposure, they don't have the right knowledge. And he also mentioned the infrastructure, the structure, and you may be wondering, why do you need a proper infrastructure for students to learn? The truth is, you cannot dream beyond what your eyes can see. So when you go to these schools and you're asking these children what are their dreams, it's limited by the four walls of what they can see. So it is further, if all these issues are not addressed, the divide between the rich and the poor of our society is going to continue. But education is what brings it together. But however, the quality of education, the quality of infrastructure, the quality of curriculum, I'm going to say curriculum because some of these elite schools, they have customized curriculum that they deliver to their students that is totally different from the other divide. So all of this, at the end of the day, they are now employable, and this other divide, they are not employable. So the divide will continue to get wider, and the society will continue to get poorer if these issues are not addressed. So it's beyond just the learning outcome. You passed WAEC, you passed IGCSE, you passed your checkpoint. It is more of a futuristic lack of employability when they come out to the job market.
All right, thank you so much. That is that was quite insightful there. But just to now ask, you bringing in AI into all of this.
Yeah.
What are those how can AI specifically address some of these challenges that you have raised?
For instance, you can put in on your chat bot now, what are the skills needed in the future? It will give you suggestions, and then you can ask, can you design a curriculum or a learning material for me to use to teach a 5-year-old child these skills? It gives you the option, right? So yes, AI. You also talked about staffs we have shortage of teachers. However, you can embed and integrate AI to prepare learning resources for these children to learn at their pace. Well, however, the problem is, are they willing to give them the gadget? So if these children have the right gadget, you can use AI to design learning content that the children can learn at their pace. So yes, learning outcome can be bridged. All that you need to do, instead of having a teacher to walk them through this content, you now have one teacher facilitating the learning process. So AI is a way out. It is actually a cheaper option if we go that route.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Faith. Venerable, now to you, I just want to know, are there, or what are those ways, or what means do we use to ensure that these AI technologies are accessible within our various schools and regions, say in Nigeria?
It's a question of government having a direction.
That's right.
And when there is a will, there's always a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we know countries that have taken their AI to the very peak, and we seem to be, or we present a picture that we are partnering with them, but we are not seeing, us trying to really go deep into how to get this technology imported into the country. And we have this facility AI tools that are well developed, that are being used in different places that we can consciously also deploy in Nigeria. So it's a question of focus. It's a question of the Ministry of Education, who is saddled with this responsibility, taking it upon themselves to say, this is where we want to go, and this is how we want to go about it. For instance, a member of my parish not too long ago withdrew their child from a very popular school in Abuja. I don't want to mention the name. And I was asking why. They said they are taking the child to a particular school somewhere in Gwarimpa. I said, can you give me a good reason for this? The woman said she has noticed that this little girl is interested in AI. And that particular school is developing their AI technology, and they are deploying it in their teaching and learning situation in the school. And so she wants the child to grow under that environment and have access to this new way of technology. And do you know, I'm already using the girl now, the little girl, to my own advantage. Is the youngest girl ever, youngest person ever I constituted a committee and made her to be the head. She's now head of my media department. Yes. So, and she's doing it perfectly. We installed, we kind of modernize our projecting system. Of recent, remove all those normal box projector that we converted it to this television screen and all that. So the person that installed it called me and said, "What's happening here? This small girl you have to put on what I'm doing." He said, "I don't answer question tire." He said she's so deep into technology. She's asking questions that are beyond my imagination. A small girl. And he said this is going to be a perfect fit to handle this very media department. That is how it goes. You can see the advantage already. And I don't see the reason why that girl will finish and be looking for. If she finished in that secondary school, then go to university, then no, she will not look for a job. We are going to shoot a program, an all-night prayer program next week, Friday, the last Friday of this very month of October, and she's the one helping me to design the flyer now. And that is a thing before I will carry to go and meet a printer in area 10. But now a small girl is doing it on her phone. And before you know it, she has promised me that by Sunday morning you have the electronic flyer to share in all the platforms.
All right, Venerable, I quite agree with you there, because a friend of mine, just a similar experience, teaches robotics in one of these schools there in Guarimpa. So it's like Guarimpa houses.
I live in Guarimpa,
so we are living behind Guarimpa, so we have no shit.
All right, that is on a lighter note. Miss Faith, now, embracing AI would be considered as the future or the way to go.
That's right.
And integrating it into a system, just like we know we don't, I don't want to say we don't have, but now let me put it this way. Do you think we have the right infrastructure and the right technical support for this technology at this time?
No.
Okay. So how then do we now embrace AI?
The truth is, right now, no.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying no is because most of the achievements that we're making with integrating AI is being spearheaded by private sectors. And until the government comes on board fully, then we can now know that we are headed somewhere.
Okay, but I know of some governmental programs or initiative. I don't know the span at least, but I know of some, like in the state of Edo, the governor came out to say, yes, sure you get, that they are laying fiber active cable underground and a whole lot. Now these are innovative that is driving development in Edo State. And now this is driven by the government. But now, within even the federal capital, we don't. I don't think we have such.
No, we don't.
We don't.
So if I was sitting in a meeting where I met the UBEC lady. I can't remember her name now, and she shared everything that was happening in Edo State. My jaw dropped. And what is happening in Edo State? If it can be replicated in all the states, we are good to go. Because this infrastructure is not unachievable. It is. All we need is stable electricity, or stable electricity with alternatives that are cost effective. We need internet, and then we need the gadget. That's all. So all we need is the government to back this up by providing. And then we can now start talking about the training the personnel that would deploy all of this. So it's not that hard. Like he mentioned, All we need now is a government that is intentional. The CEO of CC Hub, he's doing an amazing job. That is Mr. Bosan. I think he's the current Minister of Digital Economy. So he's doing an amazing job, and he's spearheading a lot of projects in this dimension. So we're not going to isolate just the educational sector and say we want to digitalize the educational sector, we want to harness AI. The people in the educational sector are still really living they're still the humans of the society. So let's look at it holistically as a society. If the society can move that way, it will be very easy for the educational sector to plug in. But for right now, for what we have as of today, before I walked into this meeting, we're still not yet ready.
All right.
Yeah, I wanted to just say that when you're talking about infrastructural support for this AI something, I agree with her totally that it's not yet there. You just saw what happened just now. We're supposed to be in live studio, and AEDC just took their light, and we had almost thrown into confusion. So those are the things we are talking about. So the internet, there's a platform. My wife was trying to show me something inside the vehicle when we were driving out of the house just now. The internet is hooking, and we're having challenges. So this borders on infrastructure that is not there yet. And so all these things are surmountable if the government is focused. If the government say this is the direction we are going now, and we must get there, so continue to work towards that direction.
That's right.
Then you carry the people along, and let's know the particular bus stop we are in at the moment, and when we are going to get to the next one. So if you go that direction, it's surmountable.
All right, Venerable, I quite agree with you. Government is needed to drive this process, because it is indeed not a cheap venture for an individual or even corporate entity to venture into. Ms. Faith, you spoke about teachers and a whole lot. Now, bringing AI into the traditional system, we've discussed so well about curriculum over time, and how the current school curriculum does not support this kind of system. So how then do we integrate AI? Because you have to train, it's more like train the trainer. So how do I put it? You must train these teachers to be able to fill in this gap. How do we come by this? How do the government or private institution come in to carry these teachers along? Some of them do not even have a mere IT knowledge. How much more introducing AI to them? Is this possible?
Absolutely. It is very, very possible. We are humans, and one of our characteristics as living things, as humans, is the ability to adapt and evolve. So I think that the training part is even the easiest part, in my opinion, right? And easiest part because it's something that can be controlled. We have the part that we cannot be controlled, and we have to understand that it's a process. You are trying to unwire and rewire a system that has been used to operations in a particular dimension. It may take time, but all we need to do is to have a strategy, the right budget, the right content, the right facilitation or facilitators, and then we have like a timeline to go step by step process. It's just like an end-to-end plan on how to onboard these teachers. But it is not impossible, because that's what I do on the side. When you approach a teacher and you tell the teacher that I'm going to introduce you to something that will make your work 50% easier and is going to make the learning outcome for the children 100%. I am a teacher. I'm going to jump on it. So I'm going to tell you that all you need to do is to use this particular app. There's a particular app I think I met these people during the MasterCard Foundation. There was an EdTech conference that held earlier this year. They call themselves Schooler, and they have a particular product called the Curricula. So all you need to do is you just come there to the site, enter your topic, enter the curriculum you want to use, you enter the class that you're teaching, you enter the skills you want the child to learn, and in less than 1 minute, it generates a lesson plan for you. So Now that is on one side. Then we also have AI tools like Gamma. So you can now enter the topic the lesson plan it has given to you to Gamma, and Gamma can generate a teaching slide for you. You can put the instruction telling Gamma that you want it to be tailored designed to this particular content and this context. Gamma does that for you. And then when you are done, you have another management system where the children can take an automated test after you're done teaching and insert it into a gradebook. There's another platform called slate.ng that does this. So the children will take the tests on the platform, and automatically it will mark it, and then at the end it will give the children a gradebook. So if you want the children to be going home every day with a gradebook, it is possible. So if I come to tell you that, and I tell you that all I need you to do is to invest yourself in 3 months training, you will jump on it.
All right.
You will jump on it.
Okay.
So yeah.
You've said so much about this, and you've introduced us to a whole lot of platforms that could aid the process. Now, the accuracy of these platforms you just mentioned, I don't know, have you tested them yourself? Are you saying that as opposed to what the human mind would have done naturally, that these AI tools meet up with these challenges there?
AI is being simulated by the human mind. Okay. So someone is behind it. Someone is doing the job for us to make our work easier. So is it 100%? It's a machine. So it can be, that's why the AI cannot replace the teacher. It can only make the work of the teacher easier. So if the teacher generates a particular question, the teacher is not supposed to take this question and give to the children. You're supposed to sit down and vet it to be sure that it aligns with what you need. That's where the human part of it comes in. So can it be trusted? Sometimes 100%, yes. Can it fail at some point? Also, yes, it's a machine. But however, most of the platforms that I just mentioned are platforms that I have personally used, and for slate.ng is a platform that I am currently not just using, but I'm also working with them. So we are the AI now for that platform. We are now the ones generating the content, so that when the teacher enters the prompt, it is what we have done behind. And when I mean we, I'm talking about expert teachers of over 38 teachers from around the country. They've come together to put in this content. So it's going to be almost excellent when the teacher put in the right prompt.
All right, yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Faye. That was quite insightful. Now, Venerable, so much have been said already. Now, I want to ask, in a system like Nigeria where we have not fully digitalized our system, we've not fully automated our system, how do you think Nigeria, or do you think that Nigeria can sustain this AI programming in a long term? Do you see it as something that is sustainable?
The first thing we should note is that deploying AI as a technology is something that we cannot avoid. Yeah. Otherwise, the world will leave us behind completely. So, the earlier we go on that route, the better for us. So, that's why I keep hammering on leadership. So it's not something that is not doable. It's something doable. It's just to know that this is the direction of the arrowhead now, and it's either you, the train is already moving in that direction. It's either you come on board or you are left behind. So you just have to do everything possible to redirect effort, redirect resources, redirect energy towards that direction.
All right. Thank you so much. Ms. Faith, just to wrap up now, because we're actually going short of time, how would you then address those concerns as regards the responsible use of this artificial intelligence?
When it comes to technology, there must always be an issue. We should just embrace that. However, the adults around it should be intentional and be, I think very intentional about what they're doing. What do I mean by that? They should know that one of the issues that we're having right now is deep learning is being taken away by AI. I'm talking about the both chart now. So you give a child an assessment, and rather than sitting down to do it, the child just enters, a prompt, and the child is bringing the prompt back to you. That's what we are seeing in schools right now. So but when you as a teacher tell the child that, okay, yes, we're going to integrate this in learning, right? And when you bring back for example, a child did that to me when he brought back the assessment. So I held the assessment. I said, this is fantastic. I knew it was AI. I used to say that I know AI is handwriting, So when you were done, so now can you replicate this in another setting? So this was a forest, you use AI. So I want you to use what AI has given you. Let's try and recreate it if it's a tundra setting, right? So can you do that? So teachers will have to be responsible, educators rather, to checkmate the children. If not, we'll get to a point whereby we now have a lot of artificial intelligence and human intelligence is now missing. So sorry to use the word, you now have a lot of dummies that know how to use technology. But right now, we know that the world is looking for people that can provide solutions. We are in the knowledge economy right now. You make money. You don't know, you end up doing something. No, in those days, we're in the doing economy where people can be bricklayers, they can be, caterers, all of these are still, in vogue, but I'm talking about what is forward is the knowledge economy, where you can wake up in the morning, you can sell food, you can do this, you can do that, you can do a doing economy. But now we are in the knowledge economy where it is what you know that puts you forward. So am I going to sit down in a meeting like this and you're asking me questions and I'm asking ChatGPT, what do I answer to this? It can't work like that. So teachers will have to be intentional to know that if we don't address the issues around using artificial intelligence, we may end up raising children that are smart when it comes to using technology, but when it comes to thinking and making informed decisions, they will be dummies. So that's just the should I say the bad part of what AI can do.
All right, thank you so much. Venerable, your last word on the show as regards this topic while we wrap up.
Some people want to look at the moral angle surrounding all these new technologies. What I just want to let them know that according to Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29, it says the secret things of this world belong to God. He only reveals to us what he wants us to know.
Absolutely.
So if it is known, it is revealed by God.
That's right.
And so one should not be worried or think that because people are trying to create a robot that can do something like a man, that will take God away from his own position. God owns both the robot and the man. So there should be no fear.
Absolutely.
All right, viewers, I believe you have had it all from the Venerable himself, using scriptures to soften and cushion all of those fears surrounding the use of artificial intelligence. It's been quite an insightful time with you, sir, and also with you, Ms. Faith. Thank you for being part of Now Streaming today. While we wrap up, I will then leave you with this. It is evident that AI offers solution for the future, as well as having the abilities to promote a progressive learning environment in our skills. Thank you so much to my guests and also to you, our viewers, for staying tuned. This is where we will be wrapping or drawing the curtain onto this show. Remember, you can get more of our programs via our various social media platforms, and also by staying tuned to this station to will come your way again with other interesting topic. Same time, same station on Monday. You do have yourselves a blessed weekend. I am Godwin Ujiri, and bye for now.